Okay, so hello everyone. I'm going to be doing this free master class. It shouldn't be any more than about 30 minutes or so, depending upon how many questions there are, on finding your life purpose. I know it's very, very important for many to discover what their life purpose is and then to implement that into living a purpose-driven life. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this. I'm just going to present a couple of slides over in some of the other social media. I don't think it will show here on TikTok, but I'll go ahead and read some of these off to you. Real quickly, let me give you my 30-second introduction. My name is Hal Weinschenk. I'm a spiritual counselor, an intuitive empath, master regression certified hypnotherapist. I've done astral traveling, remote viewing, a lot of different things over the last 30 years. Really, it's been, by next year, it'll be 30 years. One of the big things I get asked a lot and what comes up a lot is about finding your purpose, finding your sort of like your life path. And this is very important. I've learned over the years how to do that. So I put together a systematic way, step by step, for you to do that. I mean, I'm going to give some of that to you right now, tonight, or this morning, depending upon where it is you are in this world. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing that most people feel or ask about, usually, give me one moment, is they're feeling like they're not on their life purpose. And the feelings of that is you generally will feel confused. You might feel alone. You might feel that you don't belong. You might feel that you're misunderstood. Things like that. That generally means that you're off your life purpose. And we sometimes go on and off our life purpose. Believe me, I've done that several times in my life, but I'm a little bit older here, so I've gone through this several times until I finally did find my purpose. And I was told, way back 20 some odd years ago by my mentor at the time, he said, "You're a teacher." And it took me years and years and years and years to accept that, see, because once you find your life purpose, accepting it is a big part of it. But the first step of that, of course, is to ask, because some people don't even get to that point. They just accept life and they go around through life and they're wondering why they don't feel quite satisfied in their heart. And I'm going to be stressing this a lot with my heart. If you've watched any of my other videos, I tell you it's a combination or a balance between your head and your heart. But purpose mostly comes from the heart. And that's one of the first things I want to bring up is don't try to think about your purpose too much. Okay. So you're not alone in this. Many feel this way as far as their life purpose, but there is a solution to this. I also felt this way before, like I mentioned before, where no one understood my mission in life. No one understood me. I was the black sheep of the family, things like that. That generally means that you are very intent on a deep, deep level for your purpose, you see. And so don't bog yourself down. Don't punish yourself. If you're not quite on your purpose yet, I want to try to help you with that, okay? It was like I was free, but I was in shackles, if you know what I mean by that. I think some of you do. If you're maybe a job you don't like, or if you're in a relationship you don't like, or if you're just in a life path you don't like, it can feel like that. It can feel like, well, I have some mobility, but I'm just in shackles still. I'm just not really where I want to be. And so the solution to this is I broke it down, as I said, into simple steps. The first thing to identify is there's two main sorts of purpose, and I really want you to kind of think about this and feel into this. The first one is what I call universal purpose, okay? Universal purpose means on this level, it's the same for everyone here on planet Earth. And I know that sounds wild, but let me explain why I say that. On a soul level, the universal purpose of all of us here is to grow, expand, learn, and experience, okay? It's the same worldwide. In other words, think about this and feel about this. You're all doing the same things all around the world. You get up in the morning, you eat or drink a hot beverage or eat some meal, you get dressed and go to work or to school or to whatever is your task for the day. It's the same worldwide, okay? And so I really stress this because so many people, again, feel alone and lost and confused and, oh, no one else is going through this. Everyone on the planet is going through this, okay? And it's universal because we're all one, meaning the human experience, the universal purpose is the same for everyone. That's to learn, grow, expand, and experience life as a soul being, as a person, okay? So that's universal purpose. And so don't confuse this with personal purpose. Personal purpose basically means if money were no object, and I'm sorry, let me back up. Personal purpose means it's individual to you. Okay, so in other words, you have the overhanging universal purpose like everyone, but then your personal purpose is definitive and specific to you. And so there's certain questions you can ask that I'm going to give you tonight that if you think about these things, this will help you to figure out what your personal purpose is. Okay, so let me read these off to you. If money were no object, what would you do? This is a huge one, and most people don't really think about that. They're like, well, no, I have to go to a job. I have to do what I have to do. No, you don't. There's plenty of people start a business. There's plenty of people in a job that allows them a lot of freedom. There's plenty of people with no jobs. Maybe you're retired. Maybe you have no job. Maybe you're just freelancing it in life, etc. There's so many choices, so many things you can do. So if you had a never-ending magic source of money, how would you choose to spend it? And be honest with that answer. And I'm here to help you, not to impress anyone else. And that should be your attitude as well, as you're here to be a helping person, but you're not trying to impress your purpose on someone else. And the second question, so think about that first question. The second question is, if you could do anything for a whole day, how would you spend it? Okay, see, again, because when you're on purpose, you're free. Okay, so think of the perfect day. If it's okay, maybe you're lying on the sun or a lounger by the pool or skiing in the Alps. Okay, try and describe your ideal day in as much details as possible. Okay, that's the second question to ask yourself. The third question is, what is your passion? This is a tough one because passion is sort of this vague notion. Passion in simple terms means that what makes your heart flutter, what makes you get excited in the morning. So if you got up excited in the morning, every morning when you're on purpose, it wouldn't feel like a job, it wouldn't feel like a drudgery, it would just feel like life. So what energizes you? What gets your heart racing and your imagination firing? That's key. And it could be political, it could be connecting with people, being creative, playing sports, etc. Okay, and only you can answer that question. So whatever your passion is, write it down in as much detail as possible. Going along with this, I'm going to give you a whole series of questions, but let me explain a big one. This is one that usually when people think about this, what did you enjoy doing the most as a child? And you may think, well, that's kind of silly. Me, I enjoyed playing in the mud, and I enjoyed, dancing, and I enjoyed running around and screaming, right? That's not what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you the things you enjoyed. I'm asking you the feeling that you received from doing those things. And so when you were playing in the mud, you felt free. Maybe when you were playing in the mud, you felt creative. When you were playing in the mud, you felt like a king or a queen, you see? So it's the heart, it's the feeling. Ask yourself that question. What did you enjoy doing most when you were a child? And let me give you another series of questions you can ask yourself, and go ahead and write these down. I'll read them off. So what do you enjoy doing the most? Second question, why did you stop doing what you loved doing? And why aren't you doing it now? Say, what makes your heart sing? And what gets you up in the morning? And if you lived in a world where there was no need for money, what would you really do? That's a key one again for most people. If you lived in a world where there was no need for money, what would you really do? So ask yourself these questions, and they may even sound silly to our left brain, because our left brain is the logical one that wants to put everything in order and wants to control things, see? The right brain is the heart. The right brain is the creative aspect of us that doesn't judge. And so just get quiet if you need to, okay? Sit in a quiet place for 5 minutes and start asking yourself those questions, and be the most honest with yourself. That's the key in this. Because the easiest way to define purpose is what truly makes you happy. Okay, and there's a whole list of things you could list under that. I suggest to everyone to write things down. A lot of people just do it in their head, or you can do it on a computer, but it's much better to write physically down on paper. The reason for that is you get that concept out of your head and it actually sits on that paper, and you can take that paper and put it aside for a while. And then when you think about your purpose again, come back to it and ask yourself those same series of questions. Okay? And so how do you know you're living a purpose-driven life? Okay? And so you can ask yourself from your heart and your intuition, what makes you truly happy? And then give yourself time to learn this. That's key. A lot of people want the answers immediately because we live in this kind of immediate satisfaction world. A lot of times it takes years. I went on and off my path of purpose several times over the last 30 years. The key again to writing it down is you stay focused on that. I've actually gone back to some of my old journals and looked up where I was off track, and I have been off track several times. I went off track in terms of, going into jobs I didn't like, going into relationships I didn't like. And the answer to that is when I come back to my questions again, I come back to what I wrote down, and then I maybe re-edit those because it changes. And 5 years from now, it could change slightly. Your core purpose is generally the same. Like I said, my core purpose, I know it, is I'm a teacher. I'm a healer. I'm a spiritual counselor. You know what I mean? I know this in my heart of hearts. Okay, and I know this at a soul level. So it may take time for you to get to that place. The second thing is that I always recommend is stay true to the answers you get and go forth with your life purpose in your own way. Okay? That leads into what I was talking about, is because once you've gone through those questions, see, I'm at a place now in my life based upon what I just told you, where I swayed from who I truly am and a lot of reasons why. Self-doubt, self-talk in the head, that'll get you every time, comparing yourself to others. And mostly for me, it was influence from others. Okay. And my left brain says, well, I have to get a job. I have to do something which, I know I can make consistent money. I need a paycheck, et cetera, et cetera. See, this is the self-talk. Okay. So be true to yourself. Be true to the answers that you receive from your heart and from your intuition. Your head is just there to sort of adjust it, okay, for your life. But if you write things down from your heart, you will get the correct answers. And that's my suggestion for you about finding purpose. And lastly, if you want to get help, then choose a mentor, choose a coach to help you, guide you along your path. And I offer a couple of ways, that I can do that with you. The one way I can do it, which is probably the quickest and simplest way to start, is I offer a free 30-minute discovery call. And it's going to be, either Zoom or Skype or just the cell phone or what have you. There's a link on this slide for everybody else that's seen it, but it's at soullearn.com. That's my main website. So 2 words, soullearn.com/free call. And it'll go into, one of those Calendly apps, and you can book a free call with me. I'm not going to pitch you any sales thing. It's truly a discovery call. I just want to help you out. If you want to just go for the 30 minutes and get what you can get from that, I'm more than happy to help you out. But I can only offer that for the first 5 people. I can't just do this for everybody listening to this call. So that's one way. And the other way is by going through my next level of what I'm teaching here, which is my Mastermind. That's going to be 4 weeks long, 1 hour each week. It will all be recorded, but it'll be like a live Zoom call or maybe a live stream call. You'll be able to participate, questions and answers. You're going to get an ebook course, a purpose workbook where you can keep track of things physically, either in Google Docs or physically on a piece of paper. The live weekly calls will go for approximately an hour, and then questions and answers after that. And so depending upon how large of a class, I'll be able to talk to each and every one of you online. You don't have to show your face, by the way, if you've never been in a Zoom call. You can just put up on an avatar, and you can just type in a chat, or you can click your microphone on and then ask me the question during the class, okay? The bonuses that I'm offering, which I don't usually do this, is you're going to get not 1 but 2 virtual sessions with me for 1 hour each, or we'll do 4 30 minutes, but 2 hours virtual sessions with me one-on-one. Okay, either over the phone, Zoom, Skype, like I said, outside of the class. So it's basically going to be a 4-week class, and it takes 4 weeks, by the way, because we're going to go through and progress, and you're going to learn certain concepts, and then you're going to be able to work on those certain concepts, both with the workbook and within the class structure. And then the third bonus is you'll get access to a private Facebook group that no one else gets into. Only my clients and students get into this. And in the group, you'll get that for access for 2 months for free. And you can ask any questions within the Facebook group that you want. So that's a nice online forum to be able to help you along as well. The cost for that attendance is normally $497 for the 4 weeks. I'm going to drop it down because it's, Black Friday, Cyber Monday type thing, to $333. And the link to order that and to register, which is coming up very soon, is soullearn.com. Again, the main website, soullearn.com/purpose. soullearn.com/purpose.